Happy Tuesday. Okay, so I just got done working out at the gym and I wanted to come and give you a video really quick. So I have just had these thoughts in my head, and I say this at the beginning of like every single video that I do. My arm is shaking, sorry. Now, the title of this video is called Overwhelmed, right? Over freaking whelmed. And I have found the fastest way. By the way, if you're watching, hey Jennifer, if you're watching this live, throw me a 1 in the comments. If you're watching this recorded, throw a 2, just so that I know when you're watching. So the fastest way I have found, I'm speaking from personal experience here, the fastest way to feel overwhelmed and to feel like you want to quit and like you're just like drowning in quicksand or something, right? The fastest way to feel that way, hey Taryn, girl, what's up? Is to look at the big picture of something, right? Looking at the big picture and being like, there's no freaking way I can do this. So think of working out at the gym, right? You want to lose 100 pounds, say. I was talking to a girl the other day that was telling me her goal was to lose 100 pounds. I'm like, you freaking go, girl. And we were talking and she's like, I just feel super overwhelmed by this big number. Like, I don't know what to do to even start. Like, where do I even freaking start? Like, it's just overwhelming. And like, the thought of that makes me want to sit on the couch and eat potato chips, right? When we get overwhelmed with the big picture, we're like, there's no way. Like, what do I even, there's no way this will actually work. So, I got talking with her and it's like, okay, think of this. What is one thing you can do today that will move you in that direction, right? So think of a big picture. Think of a goal that you have and think, okay, we got to do one step at a time, right? One little step at a time. Exactly, Taryn. Bite sizes to get the whole meal. It's the big, it's the little way to get to the big picture, right? So think of, 100 pounds is a big goal. So step number 1, what can I do right now? Like, what is one little step that I can do to move me in the right direction? Okay. That over time will get you to the big goal. Think of the same thing with paying off debt, right? There are so many of us that struggle with finances and feeling like we're drowning and just overwhelmed in, drowning in debt, or just like, how am I going to ever get out of this hole that I'm in? And you get overwhelmed, and that feeling of feeling overwhelmed and feeling like defeated already makes you want to go buy something, right? It's the same with losing weight. It makes you want to go eat. For me personally, when I get overwhelmed and I get feeling defeated already, what I go to is food, right? That's a comfort. So whatever your comfort is what you go to. So you think about the big picture and divide that into little tiny pieces. Paying off debt. What is one thing? Don't get overwhelmed with that $100,000, whatever it is, of debt that you have to pay off. Think of, okay, what is one thing I can do today that will move me in that right direction? Number 1 would be, maybe stop going to Maverick so many times a day. Maybe stop buying those Monster Energies, right? I really want to take control of my health. This was me, right? This was the place that I was in 2.5 months ago of like, I want to do something different, but I don't know where to start. It's like, okay, what is like one step, right? What is one step? And the one step was just making a decision to start, right? You find somebody that has what you want and you do what they do. And that person started with one step at a time, right? So for example, like the people that I've been working with lately, like we've been really working on overcoming, health issues and wanting to just have more energy and being a better mom and just overall health issues, right? So for example, I was in that place of I have to do something, and I reached out to somebody that I knew could help guide me in the direction, and she gave me step 1. Right? Then she gave me step 2, and then she gave me step 3. And the most important, just like Taryn said, the most important step is the first step, because feelings, right? The motivation for something is what's going to keep you going. So you take an action is going to motivate you. And then once you're motivated, that's where you're wanting to keep stepping and keep stepping, right? They feed off of each other. Action and motivation feed off of each other. You're not going to get one without the other, right? You can be motivated all you want, but until you take action, that's where it keeps on going. So, I've been working a lot with a mentor of mine that's been working with me, and I've been just duplicating what she's been doing with me, and the biggest thing is when you're stuck, think of quicksand for an example. Like you're stuck in a pit, you're stuck somewhere where you just can't seem to get out of, and you're stuck in quicksand and you're just like freaking out. You're like wailing, you're like, I can't get out of this. And you're just like digging deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, right? And you find somebody that you know can help you, right? That person is not going to get in that quicksand with you, right? The people that I've been working with and people that have been reaching out with me, and they're like, I have all these problems. Like, you know, I have no energy. I can't lose any weight. Like I'm going to the gym and nothing's happening. But they want to, you know, like people want you to get to their level. And that this is what I really learned is like, no, like, don't get in the quicksand with me. Throw me a rope, right? Throw me a rope that's going to pull me out, right? I'm not going to get in the quicksand with you, but I will be more than happy to throw you a rope that's going to bring you out of that quicksand. So the more that you look to somebody to help get you out of the place you're stuck at, you know, that's the biggest first step for me personally. And that's kind of why I wanted to share this, was because I've been working a lot with, I have found, especially these last 2 months, my life, I can get emotional thinking about it. My life has been literally flipped upside down in a good way. Because I took the first step, right? I was stuck in quicksand and I was just like wailing around and I was just like, somebody help me. And I was just getting deeper and deeper and deeper into that quicksand that I couldn't get myself out of. And I would reach out to people and like try to drag them in the quicksand with me and like, get me out of here. But that didn't do anything for me, right? A real friend and a real mentor is not going to get in that quicksand with you. They're going to throw you a rope to pull you out of that quicksand. And that's your first step. That is your first step. So that's what I've done. I have found somebody and I found something that is pulling me out of that quicksand, and I just keep pulling on that rope and keep pulling on that rope. And that's where the magic happens, is when you just take it one step at a time, right? One step at a time. You know, people that pray and pray, like they have all these health issues, or they have, you know, they have weight they want to lose, or they get, a message from a doctor saying like, if you don't take control of your health, like you're not going to see your kid graduate, or you're not going to see, you know, those grandbabies of yours be born. And you get overwhelmed with the big picture and you're just like, what am I going to do? Like, they pray and just pray and pray and ask for help and ask for something. And then, you know, somebody throws them a rope and they're like, no, I'm praying. Like, God's going to help me get out of this. Like, God's going to give me a miracle. And, you know, this is going to work out. Like, I'm praying God's going to help me. And they just turn all these people down that keep coming to them of like, hey, I found this and this, you know, help me in this area. And they say, no, like, I'm praying God's going to help me. Like, I'm just going to stay right here because I know that this, you know, I'm praying God's going to help me. I mean, we've all heard this story, right? I've heard this, I replay this story to myself over and over again, because when I get thrown, you know, a rope, or I get thrown like a float tube or something to get me out of this place I feel like I'm stuck at, and I think, is this what's meant to get me out of this place I'm stuck at? You're constantly fighting with your husband. You're constantly, fighting with your kids. You have no energy, right? You're not yourself. You're hormonally, you're jacked up, right? You have no energy. You're brain fogged all the time, but yet you're like, man, I've got to do something. I have to do something to get me out of this place I'm stuck at. And then you have somebody come up to you and be like, oh my gosh, girl, I found this. That's like literally completely changed my life. Like, you just check it out, you know? And you're like, no, like I'm good. Like, no, that's not for me. But yet you're like, oh God, help me. Like, there's just something, I need help. But yet you keep turning down something that keeps coming in front of you. Like, I found myself in that place. I really, really did. And it wasn't until I got over, like, realizing, you know, sometimes your answer to your prayers are in the least expected place ever. Like, that you could ever expect them to be in. And so I just really encourage you today to take action, right? Take action, because action is the number one thing that's going to motivate you to do anything, okay? Action is the only thing that's going to motivate you to take another step, to take one more step forward, right? Once you take that first step, the second step's going to be easier. Then the third step's going to be easier. And then it's going to be like freaking step by step by step. And then pretty soon you're going to look around and be like, where the hell am I? Like, what? Like, this is amazing. Like, you just have to start, but you can't get to step 5 until you take step 1, okay? Look at your big goal. What is it? Do you want to pay off debt? Do you want to just save your marriage and save the relationship with your husband and your kids? Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to take control of your health, right? Your health and your family's health. Us as moms especially, like this is why I'm so passionate about this, is because that's our role, right? That is our role as a mom, is to take control of our family's health, right? It's up to us. To an extent, I mean, don't take this the wrong way, but to an extent, it is our role of what gets put in our family's mouth, right? But yet you're like, man, my family's health is just jacked up. I don't know what to do. Well, step one of, what you put in their mouth would be a good step, right? Like, don't get overwhelmed with the big picture. Look at one thing. Like, we can all do one little teeny tiny thing, right? One little thing to just move in that direction, right? The same works for the opposite way, right? You want to lose weight, but yet the step you're taking is you want to lose weight and pay off debt, right? That's something almost all of us want to do. So you look at the big picture and you're like, oh my gosh, I have 50 pounds to lose. And like, I'm drowning, like my credit card debt is just overwhelming. So you'll go to Maverick and buy a donut and a Pepsi. Pretty sure that's the step in the wrong direction, right? And that's going to demotivate you even further. So just think of, the big picture. Okay, I want to lose 50 pounds and I want to pay off debt. So step one would be when I get that craving of wanting to go out to eat or go buy a donut and a pop or whatever, like do whatever you have to do, whatever motivates you, lock yourself in a freaking closet if you have to. I've freaking done that before. And just write it out till that craving is gone. And then once that's gone and you can like release a little bit, you're like, I feel freaking badass right now. Sorry, there's probably kids watching. I feel amazing right now. I feel amazing. Okay. And then you're going to be like, yeah, I did that. I can do it. I can keep going. Right. So then it's motivating to take step 2. Then you've done step 2 and then you're like, oh, I feel so good. I can go step 3 and then I can go step 4. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I've lost 25 pounds. Like I don't even recognize where I'm at right now. And then you're that much more motivated. Once you see results, that's the biggest motivation that anything can happen for anybody. Just get yourself to see results. Okay. Do something little teeny tiny that will get you the smallest little ember of hope of what's to come. And then that's going to motivate you to keep moving forward. So I hope I'm going to stop talking now. I hope this was motivational for you. I hope that this spoke to you in some way or another. This can go for any single area of your life. This can go for, having a healthier, sexier, more intimate marriage. This can go for paying off debt, losing weight, just getting control of your health. This can go for growing your business, right? This can go for just being a better person, a better friend, right? This can go for parenting. It can go for anything, okay? Find a goal. You've got to have a goal that you're working towards, right? Like, why are you going to the gym, right? Why am I going to the gym? Because I have a freaking cruise I'm going on next week, and I'm like not ready for it whatsoever. And I've got a little off track, with a few things. And so that's the thing. Like, find a goal and then do step 1 to get you to that goal. You can do it. I believe in you. I'm so excited, to see what's happening, especially with those people that we've been working with the last two and a half months almost, to see just the results that's coming. And this right here is the biggest thing that I've been passing on and been coaching them with is, okay, what's one thing you can do today? What's one thing you can do tomorrow, right? Don't look at 5 things you have to do today. Look at 1. We can all do 1, right? Anybody that has the biggest, craziest schedule, you can do 1 thing. And then that 1 thing is going to motivate you. And then that's when your mood's going to skyrocket. That's when you're going to be a better person, right? It just goes on and on and on. So hopefully this was helpful to you. I said in the beginning, but just real quick, if you watch this live, please throw a 1 in the comments. If you watch this recording, throw a 2. Also, if this helped you, if this spoke to you, or if you know of somebody else that can learn and be inspired by this, share it with them. There's a share button down here at the bottom, and you can share it directly with them. You can share it on your page. Just tag their name in the comments, whatever. If you didn't like it, let me know too. Just share with me your thoughts on this, because I want this to be a conversation. I really want to hear let's do this. This is going to be fun. I know there's a lot of you watching live right now. Throw in the comments 1 step that you're doing today in whatever area that it is. I don't care what it is. Throw one thing in the comments that you're doing today to move you toward your goal. let's do that. I'll throw mine in the comments too. Talk to you soon. Love you guys. Bye.